Feels like AI is everywhere these days, right?
Yeah, it's really moving fast.
Makes you wonder what the future holds, you know? Like, are we really headed for that sci-fi world we see in the movies?
Well, that's what we're here to sort of unpack today.
Exactly.
Instead of just worrying about robot overlords, let's look at how AI is already helping us tackle some pretty big challenges.
Right. And for this deep dive, we're turning to AI Today, which always seems to have its finger on the pulse of what's new and exciting.
Definitely is a great resource. And what we found there is honestly pretty mind-blowing.
For sure. So, ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, get this, the Ethical AI Consortium. Now, ethical AI, I mean, who's against that? But what does that actually mean?
Right, it's a good question.
Like, how do you make AI ethical?
Well, this consortium,
Yeah.
which is a pretty amazing mix of big tech companies, startups, and even human rights groups, they're trying to create a global framework
Wow.
for developing AI ethically.
Okay, so a set of rules everyone agrees on.
Exactly. They want to address all those concerns we hear about privacy, bias, making sure AI is transparent.
So it's not just about the tech itself, but about how it's used.
Yeah, exactly. Like a set of guidelines, almost like a, Hippocratic oath for anyone working with AI.
I like that.
Making sure it benefits everyone, doesn't cause harm.
A Hippocratic oath for AI. I'm going to have to use that one.
Feel free, feel free.
So how would that actually work?
Well, one key thing they propose is AI audits. Basically, having independent experts check these AI systems.
Oh, so like a safety check.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
making sure they meet ethical standards before they're released.
Makes sense.
Another big thing is clear guidelines for how data is used.
Because AI is all about the data, right?
Absolutely. AI systems need data, but we need to make sure it's collected responsibly, respects privacy, and doesn't perpetuate bias.
Which is a huge problem.
Oh, absolutely.
We've seen what happens with biased data, so getting that right from the start is critical.
Completely agree. And then the last piece of the puzzle, transparency.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Transparency in how AI makes decisions.
Right, because sometimes it feels like a black box, right?
Yeah, it can be. We need to understand how those conclusions are reached.
So we can trust them.
Right, to spot any potential biases or errors.
You know, what I find really interesting is that it's not just one group pushing this. It's tech giants, startups, human rights groups. It's like everyone sees the need for this.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, actually. It gives me hope that we're, on the right track.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I imagine there are also challenges, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, balancing innovation with regulation, getting these standards adopted globally.
Right, different countries, different laws.
Exactly. It's a complex landscape.
But hey, at least the conversation's happening. That's got to be a good sign.
It definitely is. And speaking of conversations, get this. The next development we're going to look at is straight out of science fiction.
Oh, I love it when we get into sci-fi territory. Hit me with it.
Quantum computing, meet AI.
Whoa, now that's a powerful combination. I gotta admit, though, quantum computing, it's always sounded kind of intimidating to me.
It can be a bit mind-bending.
Yeah, maybe you can break it down for us.
Okay, imagine you have to find a specific grain of sand on a beach.
Okay, got it.
A traditional computer, it'd have to check each grain one by one.
Right, painstakingly slow.
Exactly. But a quantum computer could look at all the grains simultaneously and find what you're looking for instantly.
No way.
And that's the power they're bringing to AI.
Okay, so hold on. So instead of years of research, we could be talking about developing new drugs or like creating accurate climate models in a matter of weeks or even days.
You got it.
This is blowing my mind.
It's pretty amazing the speed and power of quantum computing, combined with AI's ability to analyze, could lead to breakthroughs at a pace we've never seen before.
I mean, what other fields could this impact? I'm thinking personalized medicine, materials science, maybe even like predicting the stock market.
Yeah, anything with massive amounts of data and complex calculations could benefit. I mean, we could be talking about new materials with unheard of properties or financial models that predict the market with incredible accuracy. The possibilities are endless.
Endless possibilities. That's a great way to put it. But this is still pretty early days for quantum computing, right?
It is. There are still challenges like building larger, more powerful quantum computers.
Right. Making them practical.
Exactly. And then there's error correction. These systems are very sensitive.
So we might not have quantum-powered AI on our phones just yet.
Not quite yet.
But it sounds like we're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about a development that's a little closer to home.
Okay, bring us back down to earth.
AI for disaster prediction. And when I say closer to home, I mean it literally could be about saving lives in our own communities.
No, that's something everyone can relate to. We're talking about predicting things like earthquakes. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a disaster management agency that's using an AI system
Wow.
to predict earthquakes, and they're saying it's way more accurate than anything they've had before.
That's huge, especially for people living in earthquake-prone areas.
Oh, yeah. This AI system, it analyzes tons of data. Historical earthquake data, current seismic activity, even geological information.
So instead of just relying on, traditional methods, which can be a bit hit or miss, we have AI constantly looking for patterns that could signal an earthquake.
You got it.
That's incredible.
Well,
Think about the impact giving people time to evacuate, secure their homes, prepare. It could save countless lives.
that's the goal, right? It's like having an early warning system.
Yeah, a really smart early warning system, like a guardian angel looking out for us.
It's a powerful tool.
It is. But no technology is perfect, right? What are some of the things they still need to work on?
Well, the biggest one is accuracy. False alarms can make people complacent, and missed events, well, those could be devastating.
I can see that. Predicting earthquakes is super complex, even with AI's help.
And then there's the issue of access.
Yeah, not every country has the resources for this kind of technology.
Exactly. Making sure everyone benefits from this, regardless of where they live, that's crucial.
Right, it's about making the world safer for everyone.
Exactly. That's why the research and development has to continue. We need to make these systems more accurate, more accessible to communities everywhere.
Absolutely, and it's stories like this that make this whole deep dive so fascinating. We're seeing how AI can tackle these massive real-world challenges, things that affect all of us.
Yeah, it's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And, for me, it really highlights the potential of AI to make a real difference in the world. But like you said, it's still early days. There's a lot more to explore, a lot more to learn.
Couldn't agree more.
And we'll keep doing just that in part 2 of this deep dive into AI today.
It's really inspiring to see how AI is being used for good, like in those examples we just talked about.
It's like a whole new era for technology,
Right.
right? Not just about gadgets and convenience anymore. It's about solving real problems.
Totally. We're seeing it tackle healthcare, climate change, disaster response, things that affect everyone.
And the cool thing is, it's not just the technology itself, it's the people behind it.
Yeah, the human ingenuity.
The collaboration, the drive to make things better.
And the focus on doing it ethically, which you mentioned earlier, it's not enough to just have powerful AI.
Right, we have to make sure it's used responsibly.
We have to think about the consequences, both the good and the bad, and address any ethical concerns before they become problems.
Like with the disaster prediction AI, making sure it doesn't leave anyone behind.
Exactly. It's about making sure everyone benefits, especially the most vulnerable.
Technology should be a force for good.
Absolutely. It should help create a more just and equitable world, not just a more advanced one.
Couldn't agree more. And that brings us back to that ethical AI consortium. Their work is so important.
Oh, absolutely. Setting those global standards, having those conversations about ethics and responsibility.
It's like we're building a roadmap, right, for how to develop and use AI in a way that benefits everyone.
Yeah, a roadmap for good. And
Yeah.
it's not a one-time thing. It's got to be constantly updated as AI evolves.
It's an ongoing problem.
Collaboration, transparency, being ready to adapt to new challenges, it's all part of it.
Now, we can't talk about AI without addressing the elephant in the room, right? The potential risks, job displacement, AI becoming uncontrollable.
Okay, those are valid concerns. We need to acknowledge those fears.
Yeah, because they're out there.
But honestly, I think a lot of it comes from misunderstanding what AI is.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of Hollywood hype doesn't help.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It depends on us,
It comes down to us.
on how we develop it, how we use it. It's about putting safeguards in place.
So it's not about being afraid of AI.
Right.
It's about understanding it, setting boundaries.
And working together to ensure it benefits humanity as a whole.
Like you said, it's about humans and machines working together, not against each other.
Absolutely. We need to move past the hype and have those real nuanced conversations about AI.
Education is key, right?
Absolutely. Educating ourselves and others about its potential, the risks, and working together to shape a future where AI empowers us.
A future where it helps us solve those global challenges, create a more just and sustainable world.
You got it. And that future is being shaped right now
It's happening as we speak.
with those researchers, developers, and those ethical guidelines from organizations like the consortium.
It's really exciting to think about all the possibilities. I mean, we've seen how AI is already making a difference, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Absolutely. As AI gets more sophisticated and as we learn how to use it better responsibly, the potential is just incredible.
It's mind-blowing to think about. But as we said earlier, it's a future we're all shaping.
It's not predetermined, it's up to us.
Through our choices, our actions.
It's a collective effort.
And this deep dive, it's just a small part of that conversation, a chance to explore the forefront of AI.
And hopefully spark some more conversations along the way.
Exactly. So stay with us for part 3, where we'll wrap up our exploration of AI today. You know, after all that we've talked about, it really does feel like we're at a turning point. You know, AI is changing so fast.
Yeah, it's a really crucial moment.
And we have this chance, this opportunity to use it for good.
That's exactly it. We're at this crossroads where we can either use AI to solve these huge problems facing humanity.
Right, the big ones.
Or, it could become something that divides us, makes things even more unequal.
It's a powerful way to think about it. Like, we're holding this incredible tool.
It is a powerful tool.
And it's up to us to decide how to use it.
And that's why it's so important for everyone to be part of this conversation. Not just the scientists and engineers, but policymakers, everyday people.
Yeah, everyone.
We all have a role to play.
So I guess the question is, what can we as individuals actually do? Like, where do we even start?
It starts with learning, with understanding. The more we know about AI, what it can do, what it can't.
Right, its limitations.
The better equipped we are to talk about it, to make informed decisions about how it's developed and used.
So it's about being informed, speaking up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ask questions, challenge assumptions, demand transparency. Don't be afraid to push back.
And I guess it's about being willing to keep learning.
Exactly. AI is constantly changing, so we need to be curious, stay up to date.
Always be learning, right?
And remember, AI isn't some far-off thing. It's already here.
It's already part of our lives.
It's in our streaming recommendations, in medical diagnoses. It's everywhere.
And the more aware we are of that, the better we can navigate it, make sure it's used ethically.
We need to be active participants in this AI revolution, not just sitting on the sidelines.
Well said. You know, as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling really optimistic. AI has so much potential.
It does.
But I'm also aware of the responsibility that comes with that.
We all share that responsibility.
To make sure it's used for good, for the benefit of everyone.
It's about using AI to create a better future for all of us.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been an incredible journey, exploring AI and all its possibilities.
It really has.
And even though we've covered a lot, there's always more to learn, more to discover.
It's a journey that never ends.
So keep asking those questions, keep exploring, keep the conversation going, because the future of AI, it's in our hands.